Welcome to the VET S.O.S. Veteran Educational Resources Spotlight. Remember, don't drown to see a transition. Grab the VET S.O.S. Lifeline. We're brought to you by the Who You Know Network and proud members of the Parade Deck community. I am here, as always, with my co-host, Dr. Hira. How are you doing today, Dr. Hira?
I am doing fabulous. I am very excited for our guest today. I'm a big fan of service to schools, so I'm glad we're getting to talk about it and share it with our community.
Absolutely, another great resource that I actually don't know a whole lot about. I'm really happy to
You're
be
in for
doing
a
this.
treat.
It's going to be good. These, it seems like every one of these I've learned something new, and it's just phenomenal. These are a lot of fun. All right, so we'll jump right into it. Today we're sitting down with Alec Emmert, CEO of Service to School, a national nonprofit with over 1,000 staff and volunteers that has supported some 20,000 veterans interested in pursuing higher education since 2013. He is a former nuclear submarine officer who served on active duty in the U.S. Navy for 8 years. He worked as a consultant with McKinsey & Company, where he focused on private equity and advanced industries before joining Service to School. He holds a BS from the U.S. Naval Academy, an MS from Georgetown University, and an MBA from the Wharton School. That is an impressive lineup of degrees right there. How are you doing today, Alec?
Doing fantastic, Shawn. How about yourself?
Not too bad. I got this little allergy thing going on today. The pollen count must be high down here in Florida today. I don't know. But no, not too bad at all. It's another great day, and we're happy to be able to be doing this. So
absolutely.
Let's jump right into your transition first. And how did your transition out of the military go?
So it was interesting. So I personally did not have a great plan. I'd saved some money while I was on active duty, and my intention was to go to New York City and get into broadcast journalism, and that was really it. However, I actually did get very lucky. When I arrived in New York, I got linked up with an organization called American Corporate Partners, a quick plug for them. And they were able to get me a role on The Daily Show to learn about it behind the scenes. I was part of a veterans immersion program there. So I did that for a number of months. And thing was, it was unpaid. And when you're living in New York City off of post-military savings, those go by pretty quickly. So I realized that I needed to get a day job, or not I guess probably a more conventional job. So I was a nuke. I leveraged my experience and got a job as a nuclear consultant for Booz Allen Hamilton. Did that for a few years and actually got into some international work. And then after that, I leveraged that. And in the process, I got a master's degree in finance part-time from Georgetown University. And then I worked with Service to School to get my MBA application for the Wharton School prepared and submitted. Very impressed with the organization. So I decided to give back as a volunteer myself. So did grad school after having worked for a few years. Went and worked for McKinsey post grad school, and now I've got this role. It was offered to me by a close friend that I'd known through Service to School when I was volunteering for them, and I couldn't be happier now. So I've been here for about a year and a half.
That's something we don't hear as much about anymore, but I know it was something big. Spouses have been told for a long time about the best way to get your foot in the door is to volunteer somewhere.
Yep.
And put in that work, and it's fantastic to hear that. They saw the impact you were making as a volunteer and eventually brought you on. That's just, I think it makes it more powerful, and your drive is there, right?
Absolutely.
That is outstanding. So let's jump into the organization itself. Tell us about Service to School.
Yeah. So Service to School has been around for about 10 years. And if you are a veteran who has served honorably or you're on active duty, and you want to pursue any form of education, whether it be an associate's degree, go to community college, all the way up to a PhD, we will help you get there. However, our focus is helping enlisted veterans get into undergrad, get their undergrad degree. And we've got a program called VetLink, which is a partnership we have with 31 highly selective colleges, some of the nation's finest. You take a look at your Ivy League schools like Stanford, also MIT, and some great state schools like the University of Michigan and University of South Carolina, Catholic schools like Notre Dame, small colleges. So we've got a broad array of schools that we work with. And that's a special partnership we have with them, where we have an additional or addendum to the application that a veteran will submit to those schools from us, and that school knows that they are one of our applicants, and essentially it will give them a little bit better understanding of their military experience, and we've seen some incredible success with them getting into those schools. So, for example, last year we sent 24 veterans to Princeton. I believe it was 17 to Harvard and 14 to Yale. So, and these are enlisted veterans, so not too shabby.
That's incredible, Dr. Hira. That's incredible.
It is. It is. I briefly worked in admissions at a selective institution and got to, work with service to school and see what that application support looks like. And it is impressive. And that addendum they are speaking of is very useful. Again, most of the people in admissions don't have a military background. So that opportunity to really have help translating that experience and, what they're hoping to get out of education, it is very valuable. So I've seen it firsthand.
Awesome. It's always, we love to hear that feedback. And because that VetLink addendum really translates what that veteran did into something that, like you said, an admissions officer can understand. So it'll ask like the type of schools that veteran went to, and you don't just name the school, but you have to talk about what you learned there and what the curriculum was. And so almost any school you go to in the military's got an academic component, and you get to discuss what you learned there, and that gives that admissions officer a sense of your ability to succeed in the classroom. Also, you can describe awards you got, and it doesn't just list the name of the award, because oftentimes veterans just say something like, I got a Navy Achievement Medal, but the admissions officer doesn't really know what that award means. They care why you got that award, and so you have to describe in plain English the work you did to get that. And then also, again, in plain English, what you did during your assignment. So when that admissions officer reads that, they can do an apples to apples comparison with all the veteran applications they're seeing and get a good sense of the quality of each applicant.
That's fantastic. I absolutely love that.
I think one of the things a lot of vets are surprised about is the in-depth process of applying, right? Like what goes into really getting ready. And I think that's a big value of what Service to School is doing. It's breaking it down so it becomes more manageable chunks. Do you mind talking a little bit about what that support looks like from maybe, start to finish?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're exactly right there. So if you're, from the day you sign up, so you can put a link to our website in your show notes, but so you, as a veteran, you can sign up for mentorship. So you will put in some basic biographical information there, things like your intended separation date, branch of service, etc. So you'll submit that. You will then get a call with a member of our full-time staff, and that's an advisory call where they will get a little bit more information about you, and then figure out what your goals and plans are. And if it's the right time for you to begin your application, you'll be paired with what is called an ambassador, which is basically a near peer mentor. So someone with a similar military background as you, who has gone to college and can mentor you through that application process. And then to your point about breaking it down into manageable chunks, is that ambassador will talk to you about what it takes to apply to each of the schools you want to go to, what their experience was, and really how you can put your best foot forward in terms of writing your essays and telling your story. And so they will work with you on that application until you're ready to hit submit. And then once you do that, you're always part of our family. So we will keep you updated on career opportunities, things like that, while you're in college. So we work with a bunch of full-time employers, and then they're always interested in seeing veterans as well. And so we'll do things like potentially have webinars and things like that. So yeah, it's really kind of a soup to nuts thing. So from the moment you decide that you are interested in pursuing higher education, the day you hit submit till the day you hit submit, you're part of that process, and then even afterwards, we'll keep you in the loop as to opportunities you can have to fully realize your full potential.
That's fantastic. And I haven't heard soup nuts in a while. That's good. So, how often can someone utilize the program? Is this something that it's like a one and done, or if I decide to do a bachelor's and then a master's, are you able to go back and work with the program again?
Yep, 100%. So yeah, it's so we are free, and you can use this as many times as you like. And so oftentimes we've seen that, and we love to see that, where an applicant will use this for undergrad, and then they'll come back, say they want to go to law school. They'll come back and get law school or other grad school mentorship. So yeah, as many times as you like, you can be a repeat customer. It won't cost you a dime.
Love the free 99 price tag.
Yeah.
So what other collaborations do you guys work with? You talked about having, some partner businesses, some partner universities and colleges. Are there any other either veteran specific organizations or just organizations in general that you partner with?
Yeah, so our main partnerships are with we have 31, I've got 31 undergrad schools and about 20 graduate school programs. So about 50 partnerships in higher education. But then one of the other organizations, veteran service organizations we work with very closely is the Warrior Scholar Project, where essentially their mission is to prepare veterans to succeed in college, and our mission is to get veterans there. So you can see that those are very complementary missions. So typically, once a veteran will come through our program and they're ready to go to college, we'll recommend that they go to what's called the Warrior Scholar Boot Camp, so that they can get some exposure to what things are going to look like in the classroom. And then Warrior Scholar does the same thing for us. So again, since our organizations have complementary missions, we work pretty close together to make sure the veteran gets the full service treatment.
That's fantastic. And we actually have the Warrior Scholar Project coming on the transition show here next month.
Oh, great. Good stuff. Is it going to be Ryan?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
good time.
Awesome. Yeah, Ryan's a great American, so I'm sure you'll love to talk to him.
Oh yeah, no, it'll be a good time, and we've also talked about him coming on this one as well to just pair up with the educational resources. So getting close already, Dr. Hira.
I know. I'll add a plug also for Service to School. Watch for I believe you're still doing your admissions fairs where you can come and meet schools virtually.
Yes. So we do that. That's every fall. So typically we do our undergrad admissions fair in the September timeframe, and our grad school admissions fair in the March-April timeframe.
Excellent. So if you're thinking, I don't even know where to begin with half of these schools, go meet them. They want you to.
Yeah.
But
I do have a quick question though. Is you said it's like 30 schools or whatever for undergraduate. Are you always looking for additional schools to partner with, or is there a method to like a madness where you're very deliberate in who you're partnering with?
We are very deliberate, and so the genesis of the partnership comes from a statistic that about 1 in 3 veterans will go to a for-profit college, which is not great, because what that for-profit means is that school isn't there really to see you graduate. They're just there to get your GI Bill money. So you have to be very, very careful with that. And so to that end, we've anecdotally seen that the statistics about veteran college graduation rate are kind of all over the place, but the one we've seen repeated the most often is that the veteran college graduation rate is only 54%, and that's 54% of people who are using GI Bill benefits will actually graduate from college. So that's a huge waste for that veteran, and also a huge waste for the taxpayers. So to that end, we look to partner with schools that have high graduation rates. So in order to be a partner of ours, you have to have at a minimum 70% graduation rate, but it's oftentimes for our partners much significantly higher than that. And we want to make sure that they're a brick and mortar institution, that they offer the yellow ribbon, and that they have a dedicated veteran point of contact on campus and veterans group. And so to that end, we want to ensure that if we are recommending our veteran go to a particular school and work with them to get there, that they are going to be set up for success and that they're going to graduate.
Yeah. Outstanding.
That's what we love to hear. Time flies. So I do want to say thank you, Alec, for joining us on VET S.O.S today. On behalf of the VET S.O.S family, we'd like to thank everyone for joining us. You can find VET S.O.S podcast on all our favorite podcast platforms, YouTube, and all social media platforms. Make sure that you do subscribe and follow VET S.O.S so you don't miss a thing. And remember, don't drown in the sea of transition. Grab the VET S.O.S Lifeline.